U.S. consumers lost a median amount of over $1,100 in 2023 in scams relating to travel, vacations, and timeshare plans. That's why the Better Business Bureau of West Michigan is warning people during the increased travel season, despite these scams persisting year-round. We are joined by BBB West Michigan's VP of Community Relations and Educational Foundation, Troy Baker, who is here to offer some tips so you don't get scammed this spring break. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about some of the recent scams that you've heard when it comes to spring break travel.
Yeah, especially when it comes to spring break, one of the most common ones has to revolve around what you're going to stay in, where you're going to stay. So rental scams. There are some tips that you can use to kind of stay safe and prevent that. I think the biggest thing is do your research ahead of time. Know where you're going, who you're renting from. Use the bigger, well-known places in general. But even then, there are scammers out there that, you know, the day before you arrive, they say, oh, something happened, we have to move you to a different place. It's a bait and switch. So the best way to avoid that type of thing is pay attention to the reviews. What are other people saying about that host? But also do a Google search on the address. If the house is listed for sale, that's a huge red flag. Or if it's listed on another website and the price is significantly different, somebody out there is trying to rip people off. So pay attention and do a little bit of research to protect yourself, and make sure you're using the well-known, well-regarded platforms we all use. That way there's some protections there. They've put some things in place to try to spot some of these scams and prevent these scammers from taking advantage of people.
When it comes to your trip details, you finally have that trip booked. What are some things to look out for there? Because I know, you're always trying to make sure your details are in the right place, so you know where you're going, know when you're going. What have you guys seen there?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that we see are people trying to make those last-minute changes. Maybe you get a message saying your flight's been delayed, you're going to miss a connection. So you quickly run to the computer and start searching reservation phone number change, whatever that string might be. But a lot of people end up going to the wrong site. It may look like the right site, but it's not. Depending on who you book through, sometimes there's not a phone number to call. Sometimes they want to engage with you through chat or through email. So just going with that first phone number you find in your online search doesn't necessarily mean you're talking to the real people. And we've seen people that have paid hundreds of dollars thinking they changed their flights and get to the airport, and the airline says, no, that wasn't us. We would have done it for free if you contacted us.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you really know who you're dealing with. And that means if you end up going to a website, make sure it's the right one. If you're dealing with Delta Airlines, it's delta.com. If you're dealing with American Airlines, it's aa.com. Go to the right place for what you're trying to do. And if you're not sure, keep looking, keep searching. Don't just take a quick answer and accept that it's right.
Last question for me, as people are doing these things, any tips on how to ensure that those places are who they say they are? Or do you guys have any resources that they can use to help with that?
Yeah, of course, you can always go to bbb.org and put in the URL and see what company comes up. You can do a Google search and learn about who it is. In many cases, especially on a website, it's going to match the name of the company you're dealing with. So make sure that makes sense where you're going. And when in doubt, ask someone. Find a friend, a family member, a coworker, somebody else to just put a second set of eyes on there. That's always the safest way to make sure that you get that second opinion and you're staying safe.
Yeah, one of the most common things I feel like I've seen is spelling errors too. Yes. A lot of times. So that's good. Well, thank you so much. All very good tips. We appreciate you being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And if you are